In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best Galaxy Opal and Dark Matter cards in NBA 2K23 My Team. We have a tier list here that ranks from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have some of the best Galaxy Opal and Dark Matter cards. Now, the reason why I'm combining the two is because there's only 3 Dark Matters in the game, so they don't really have enough players to have their separate tier list, so I just want to include them on this Galaxy Opal tier list. That's basically just going to be 4 Galaxy Opals, and we have about, I think, 30, or maybe just a little bit below 30 of the best Galaxy Opals, and obviously those 3 Dark Matters as well. So, I mean, first Galaxy Opal card here is going to be the Galaxy Opal Anthony Davis. This might be a little bit surprising, but I think he's actually going to be in the B tier. We've gotten some really good power forwards over the past couple weeks, and I still feel like Anthony Davis is a very good power forward. He's 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. Stats wise, I think he's a decent power forward, nothing too crazy. He does have, 15 Hall of Fame badges, which is really nice, and can get every badge in the game added to him, which is super nice to have. And he's going to be a great defender, having Hall of Fame anchor, chase on artist, interceptor, menace, pick dodger, pogo stick, and post lockdown as well. For me, I feel like he just feels a little bit outdated with his jump shot on normal timing, when we have, some other power forwards we'll talk about on this tier list that have their jump shots on quick and just have way better jump shots. So for me, Anthony Davis probably going to be in that B tier category. Still a very good power forward, just not going to be as good as some of the other ones that I've dropped recently. And then Bam Adebayo, I think he's probably going to be in C tier. I do think he's a little bit worse than a guy like AD. For me, they're very similar, both being really good defensive power forwards. Bam just going to be a slightly bit worse. Now, Galaxy Opal Steph Curry, I think this card is very interesting, because if you know how to use this card, he could honestly be in the B tier or maybe even the A tier category. For me though, I'm not great with this card. He is 6'3", obviously with a 6'3" wingspan at the point guard position. Yes, offensively, this card is going to be super nice. It's Steph Curry. Obviously, we know in my team what Curry can do. He's going to be one of the best 3 hunters in the game, having so many Hall of Fame shooting badges, 98 3-ball, 96 mid-range. He's got his jump shot on normal, which is not the greatest. I mean, on a Curry card, we have some power forwards and centers, like Yao Ming's got his jump shot on quick timing, and Curry's only got his on normal. It's still a pretty fast jump shot. Just would have liked to see it on quick, just to make him, a little bit better on the offensive side of things. I think if you know how to use the Steph Curry card, he could possibly be in the B or maybe A tier category, but for me, I think he's got to be in C tier. Now, this Galaxy Opal Dirk, I'm throwing him in the S tier category. If you guys don't know, S tier is going to be my top 5 Galaxy Opals plus those Dark Matters in my team, and I think Dirk is probably a top 5 Opal. I mean, honestly, guys, he is actually super elite, and I think the new best power forward in my team, but we'll talk about that later in the video with the power forward. You guys obviously know who I'm talking about, but Dirk Nowitzki is going to be a power forward center. He's 7'1" with a 7'3" wingspan, which is insane at the power forward position. I mean, this card is unreal for a Dirk card, man. Like, Dirk always gets terrible cards in my team, but my team souped up this Dirk Nowitzki. He's got a 98 3-ball, 98 mid-range. That's obviously to be expected with so many good Hall of Fame shooting badges like Limitless Range, Guard Up, Deadeye, Corner Specialist, Claymore, Catch and Shoot, Blinders, Amped, and Asian 3 as well. That's obviously what we expected from a Dirk card, but what we didn't expect is this jump shot to be actually super money. He's got a really good base. This Bielitsa base is actually super fast. The Tim Duncan upper is actually really nice. It's also on Bob Nedelecki, and he's got his jump shot on quick timing, so he's actually got a really good jump shot on my team. And then even dribbling wise, like dribble sigs, he's got the MJ dribble style and the Kobe Bryant escape, meaning this card can actually move at a very high level. I mean, this Dirk card really has no flaws. He's a good defender. He can put the ball on the floor. He can finish around the rim, and then he does have 85 speed and 85 acceleration, so he's not going to be a slow power forward like he normally is. I mean, Dirk, honestly, I do think is a top 5 Galaxy Opal card. Now, Kazi Russell, I think is probably going to be in the A tier category. Still a very good Opal card. I mean, he's still one of the better offensive shooting guards in my team. I just think there's better options at the shooting guard spot. All around, though, probably going to be in my A tier category. This Galaxy Opal Dame card, honestly, is super underwhelming. I mean, I was really hyped when I saw him getting a Moments card, and I do think it's really hard to make Dame a good point guard, but for me, guys, I do think he's going to be in the D tier category. I mean, this card is very bad for Galaxy Opal. I mean, he's pretty much like an Amethyst card. Like, there's just so many better cards at his position. His dribble sigs are terrible. Like, his movement is so bad. He doesn't have the normal leaner. The only good thing about this card is his jump shot. That's pretty much it, because besides the jump shot, everything else on this Dame card really isn't going to be that elite. So I think for the Galaxy Opal tier list, he's just going to have to be in that D tier category. Now, Galaxy Opal Bob Nedelecki, I think is probably going to be an A tier. Same thing with Kazi Russell. I still think he's one of the better cards at his position. There's just so many, not so many, but there's just a couple better power forwards in my team right now, just like a guy like Dirk. So I like Dirk more than a guy like Bob. So for me, Bob going to be in the A tier category. Galaxy Opal Donovan Mitchell, I think honestly, I'm going to be realistic with this one. I do like using Donovan Mitchell a lot. I would probably say A tier if I was being super biased, because personally, I love using this D-Mitch card, but I think for most people, and kind of a fair ranking is going to be in B tier. I do still think he's a really good point guard. He gets to the rim with ease, he dunks the ball a lot, and he does have a great jump shot and plays way better defense than 6'1" would suggest. For me, I'm gonna throw Donovan Mitchell in the B tier category. Now, Galaxy Opal James Harden, I'm gonna keep him in A tier for now, but let me tell you guys, this Harden card I do believe is the best point guard in my team, and he'll probably get moved up to the S tier category later in the video. I mean, he's a shooting guard point guard, 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. He's so elite at the point guard spot. Just like Dirk Nowitzki, they kind of souped him out, giving him the MJ dribble style, and he already has some really good dribble sigs. I kept that James Harden escape, which is really nice on the card, and all around he is super hard to guard, especially on next gen. And then defensively, he's really not that bad, but offensively, this card is super hard to guard. I do think the best point guard in the game most likely will be an A tier, but we'll keep him in the most likely be in the S tier category, but we'll keep him in A tier for now. Now, Galaxy Opal John Morant, I do think is very comparable and very close to a guy like Donovan Mitchell. For me, I think it's really close. I would probably say for most people that they do prefer a guy like John Morant. And I haven't used Ja too much, but Ja probably is the better point guard. I think it's very close though. I'm gonna have them both in the B tier category. Now, Galaxy Opal Vince Carter, I do believe easily going to be in the S tier category. These new Galaxy Opal cards from the Cosmic set are absolutely unreal. I mean, these are the best three cards at their position. I think Vince is the best shooting guard, Dirk's the best power forward, and James Harden's the best point guard. I mean, just such elite cards from the new drop. He's a 6'6" shooting guard with a 6'9" wingspan. I mean, Vince is basically a perfect card, stats and badges wise. He really has no flaws. I mean, that's the thing about this card. The only flaw I can think of is the fact that he doesn't have the normal leaner. He's got the Kyle Kuzma base, which is super money on quick timing. He's got the MJ dribble style. Even the De'Aaron Fox size up is super elite, and the John Wall escape is really nice as well. So I mean, the card's got great sigs, great jump shot. He's got perfect stats and badges. He's a 6'6" two guard. Nothing you can really ask more. You can ask more of Vince Carter. I do believe he's going to be a top 5 Galaxy Opal card. Galaxy Opal Dolph Shea is kind of similar to a guy like Bob Nidelecki. Still a very elite power forward. I think going to be an A tier. Galaxy Opal Jimmy Butler, honestly, I do believe is going to be in C tier. I still think he's not a terrible Galaxy Opal. He's still a good defender, but just so many better shooting guards in my team, especially at the Galaxy Opal tier. Next Galaxy Opal is going to be Yao Ming. I think this is probably the most obvious selection I think I'll ever make in my life for a tier list. I mean, if you don't have this card in S tier, I don't know what you're smoking, because this man is literally the best card in my team, and it's not even close. So for me, Yao Ming easily going to be in the S tier category, obviously being a top 5 Galaxy Opal. Galaxy Opal Jason Tatum, I think he's probably in either high B tier or low A tier. I'm not the biggest fan of this card, but I still do think he's very solid. I'm gonna keep him in A tier for now. I think he's really good, but honestly, I do think there's better small forwards in my team. Kawhi Leonard, I'm gonna throw in high B tier. Now, I do think he's better than guys like John Morant, D-Mitch, and Anthony Davis. I think he's comparable to a guy like Tatum, so maybe they should be on the same tier. I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna keep Tatum in the A tier category though. I do think he's just a little bit better than a guy like Kawhi. Kawhi just really doesn't feel the same as he normally does in my team, and he can only play small forward when he can usually play the shooting guard position. Dark matter Larry Bird, honestly going to be in the C tier category. I mean, he's still a dark matter, has 25 Hall of Fame badges, but his jump shot is just slow. He needs an update. We've talked about this card multiple times. I'm not going to go into detail. Update Larry Bird, hashtag update Larry Bird in the comment section down below. He needs a update, man. This card is just terrible for the final prize of a trophy case. Galaxy Opal Zach LaVine, I think honestly going to be in B tier. I think he's actually super underrated. I would much rather have him over a guy like Jimmy Butler, you know, at the shooting guard position. I think he's actually super good on the offensive end. Yeah, I would say Zach LaVine probably in the B tier category. Now for me, Galaxy Opal MJ, I do believe is going to be in C tier. Now, I know there's probably a lot of people out there that are big MJ fans and love using this card, and I understand some people can be very elite with him, and if you love MJ, I'm sorry, man. I just don't think this card's that elite. I do think he's great on the defensive end. For me, his jump shot is just a little bit too slow, and that kind of makes him a little bit baited from the three-point line. So for me, I think MJ gonna have to be in the C tier category. Still a very good card. Obviously, you guys gotta remember this is a Galaxy Opal tier list, so some of the best cards in the game are gonna be on this tier list. So for me, I think MJ gonna have to fall in that C tier category. Galaxy Opal Don Ol, I do believe is gonna be an A tier. I think he's probably the second or third best point guard in the game, just a little bit better than guys like D-Mitch and John Morant Durant as well, but all very similar at the point guard position. Now, Galaxy Opal Yi, easily going to be in the S tier category. He's one of the best free cards we've gotten in my team, honestly, in such a long time. I mean, does he not show up on 2KDB? Wait, did they not have his stats? I just realized. No, you can check him out. Yeah, okay, it's just glitching for a second. But yeah, honestly, guys, like I was saying, I think this Yi card is debatably one of the best free cards we've ever gotten in my team. He's a power forward center, 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. I mean, he's just so elite at the power forward position. He's very comparable to a guy like Dirk because they both have great jump shots. Like, this jump shot's super nice on quick timing. He's got the MJ dribble style, and he does have the normal leaner as well. Him and Dirk, the comparison I think is very, very close. You guys can actually let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you guys think's better between Yi and Dirk? For me, it's very comparable. I'm not exactly sure who I do think's better at the power forward spot. Now, Dark Matter, Dr. J, I do believe is going to be very, very close to the A tier category. I think Dr. J is the third best shooting guard in the game. We'll talk about the number 2 guy in a second. I think Vince Carter is just a little bit better, has better SIGs than Dr. J, moves a lot better on the court, better going to the rim, or about the same going to the rim, but does have a way better jump shot, especially a lot faster. So for me, Vince Carter going to be an S tier, and Dr. J going to be A tier. Sean Kemp, I think, is probably B tier. I mean, he's around the same level as a guy like Anthony Davis, and I do think he's a tiny bit better than Bam. I think Bam's solid, but I would much rather use a guy like Sean Kemp. Galaxy Opal Shaq, I think, is very similar to a guy like Curry. If you know how to use Shaq, you're really good with inside bigs, and I think he possibly could be B tier or maybe even A tier. Just for me, I think Shaq gonna have to be in C tier. I like my center to be able to shoot. That's the reason why I'm throwing him in C tier. Galaxy Opal Terry Dishinger, I thought it was George Mikan, easily gonna be in the A tier category. I think Terry and Dr. J are just 1 tier below a guy like Vince Carter, and they're both gonna be in the A tier category. Dark Matter Tim Duncan, I think as a card, probably in either high A or low B tier category, or sorry, either in high B tier or low A tier. I think I'm going to throw him in the high B tier category. I think he's very comparable to a guy like Anthony Davis. I would just much rather use, you know, Bob Nidelecki, Dolph Shays at the power forward position. Now, Trae Young, easily going to be in D tier. Probably the worst card on this tier list. Very comparable to a guy like Dame of how bad they are. I mean, they're super underwhelming cards, both going to be in D tier. I think everybody would agree with that. And then Galaxy Opal Zion Williamson going to be in my A tier category. So now, guys, we have to move one of these cards from A tier into the S tier category. So let me know in the comment section down below, out of all these Galaxy Opals and Dark Matter cards in A tier, which card would you guys move up to that last S tier spot to round off my top 5 Galaxy Opal cards? For me, I would probably go Galaxy Opal James Harden, because like I said, I do believe he's the best point guard in the game, but I think you could go Terry, you could go Bob Nidelecki or Dr. J as well. So many great Galaxy Opal and Dark Matter cards on this tier list, but let me know what you guys think about my tier list in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.